Hello and welcome to the video, and today we are doing my Funko Pop collection. Oh yeah, it is an exciting one today. So yeah, you are going to be seeing every single one of them. Well, you can see some of them in the background right now. You might not be able to make out all of them because there are some right behind you. We're going to start off with the unboxed selection that are not on display, and then we're going to get right to all of these beautiful ones behind me. So I can't wait to show you these. It's a big ass video, so stick around and I'll see you right at the end for the close up. Let's go. With some random pops out of box, aren't on display simply because I haven't got the room for them. And here we have the Christopher Eccleston Doctor. A lot of the pops you'll be seeing today are commons, but this is out of box. So these are the first ever pops I brought with Doctor Who. As you can see, there are some scuff marks, and there will be on some of the ones that I haven't got open. But that is Christopher Eccleston Doctor, and of course, to go with the Doctor, you always need a companion. The only companion I own, actually, and that is, of course, Rose Tyler. The significant part of this pop is the fact that she's got her t-shirt. Not exact to the one that she wears in the show, but close enough. Anyway, so yeah, there's Rose. And of course, next up, and unfortunately one that, while is quite a expensive pop, but the David Tennant 10th Doctor with 3D glasses is he's a little bit messy. Also, he's got no feet. Unfortunately, this one just got broke in transit from one place to another. I think this was the first ever pop that I actually might have got, and I think I don't think I brought it. His head is also a little bit on the way out. I believe at one point it was just his head I had, and then I stuck his body back on. So that is a messy pop, but nonetheless one of my favourites. The Matt Smith, the original Matt Smith Funko Pop. The first one I brought out for the 11th Doctor with his signature screwdriver and bow tie. Again, there's nothing really to say about this. Again, due to transit, it's just a little bit of a mess. There's some scuff marks here and there. But that is Matt Smith, 11th Doctor. The last one in this section, shall I say, is the one that's the messiest. It's Peter Capaldi. Got paint on it for some reason. It looks like he's had a slushy or something and not cleaned his mouth. But Peter Capaldi, original Funko Pop, the first that I brought out of him. These ones aren't on display simply because of space. Also, these are very early ones and they look a bit of a mess. David Tennant doesn't normally stand up. He's doing pretty well at the moment, but he doesn't normally stand up. So that's why these ones are out here. There is also another one, which I think has gone on the run. But the one that's gone on the run is Mr. Bean. And it's the original Mr. Bean. I'll put a picture up now, right here. Just show, because when I was a kid, I used to watch Mr. Bean, the TV show, all the time. Not the animated one, but the live action one, the original with Rowan Atkinson. And that is why I have that pop. And there's another pop later that's a random one that we'll see at out of box. And there'll be another reason why I've got that one and not got any of the others. But yeah, these ones not on display due to space and the simple fact that they are all looking a little bit worse for wear. So that's them lot. Let's get back to the big display now. So yeah, as I say, here we are. We're at the pops. And as I say, we're starting off with all the ones that are out of box. So we're going to start with a random one. As you saw earlier, I said about the Mr. Bean one that I could not find. But here is one Harry Potter. Now, why is this one the only one I've got that is a little bit random? And it's simply because we do quizzes. every now and then at pubs, and one of the quizzes was a Harry Potter quiz, and you get extra points for coming dressed up or having some merchandise of some kind. So yeah, I brought this one just for that reason. It's not that I don't like Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter films, but they're just not enough to collect the pops. And as you can see here, this is broken. His broomstick is broken, unfortunately. So yeah, Harry Potter. Here is where the main section of unopened pops are. These ones are all just, as I say, these are the earliest ones that I brought. So that's the reason why they are out of box. So going from the back here, I'm not going to pick them up just yet, but at the back here we've got Two-Face from Batman Forever, I believe it is. Decent pop. However, the issue with this one is it doesn't stand up. So, unfortunately, that is why he's at the back there. Not up front with one of the other ones we got here as well. I might have to pick up one or two of them just so you can see them better. But here is Kid Flash from the TV show The Flash. I have more DC pops in my collection than I ever thought. And it's down to the TV shows. It's down to the Arrowverse. It does build up as you go along with the DC ones. But this is a pretty cool one we've been running. You know? But yeah, you're going to get a lot of those little things during this. It's just a little geeky thing I do. But yeah, Kid Flash. Decent pop. And then going forward, we have the Riddler. This is the Riddler from Batman Forever. Again, this was brought along with this Two-Face as a 2-pack. And I think these were the first ones I got of those original Batman films. We'll get to some of the other ones later on, as we have one more that is unboxed. And we have a couple of them, well, majority of the rest of them are all boxed. So, you know, that one has been a collection that I've been going through over and over again. Sort of thing, it's taken me a while to get the ones I've got now that are in the box. But I got there in the end. Big Dusty Deathstroke from Arrow. This is the Deathstroke from Arrow, not just any old regular Deathstroke. We'll get to a regular Deathstroke later on in the video, but yeah, Arrowverse, Arrow, Deathstroke, great character. It's not the Chase that's unmasked, I believe, if I remember right. I'm not all that top notch on the on what are glow in the darks or what are you know, the chases. But I believe the chase for this was a unmasked version, and eventually I would like to get that one. And in front of that one, we do have one that I will not be picking up, and I hopefully can get to show you enough, and that is the Killer Frost. This is another one that doesn't stand up very well. But this one I really do enjoy as a pop, and it goes quite nicely with the Flash set that I have. We'll get through to some of the other Flash ones actually quite soon. But yeah, Killer Frost there. We're going back to the back now, and this is one of the earlier ones I got as well, and you'll be able to tell based on the pop itself. It is marked up like a nutter. Again, another one that basically got messy during transit. But this is Reverse Flash from The Flash TV show. Again, this is another one that I absolutely love. I love the detail on this one with the way the suit, it starts off black and gradually gets yellow and yellow and yellower until the top of it is scratched like a nutter, but it is a very decent pop, and I'm glad I got this one because like these ones go for quite a bit of money, you know, not crazy amounts. A lot of these ones that I've got are commons, but this one is a decent one, and I'm glad I got it. And you know, the detail on the ring there, you can see there, I think it's just brilliant to see just that smallest amount of detail in one little part. But yeah, Reverse Flash, here by Thorn. Get back there, you naughty man. And moving forward again, another randomish pop. At one point I was planning to get a lot more Batmans. And this was one of them. This is the Justice League Batman, I believe. battle suit or whatever they might call it. Like I say, it is very dusty because I don't really I don't move these pops all that often, and it's only easier for me to do these kind of videos when I ain't moving them around. But yeah, that is Batman from Justice League. I know that it might not be the battle suit, but yeah, out of box, not worth a lot of money. But again, another decent pop. I like the detail in this pop, very much so. They got the detail right quite nicely, and I think it's actually a better pop than it is a suit in the Justice League, to be honest with you. But yeah, decent Batman, decent Funko Pop. And going forward in the front here, we have Mr. Freeze. So this Mr. Freeze is of course from Batman and Robin, the famed terrible film that nobody likes to talk about. But yeah, there he is. This is actually a really good pop. I really like this pop. You know, I think that they did really well, considering the fact that, like, you know, like, fans will go around getting these for nostalgia reasons, but the detail in this pop, I think it was one of the first pops I brought where, well, it wasn't one of the first ones I brought, but it was one of the first ones I brought where I actually noticed how much detail they can actually put in these Funko Pops. And while, yeah, it's very basic and it's very simple, it's definitely one that I enjoy having in my collection. His head is a little bit squirby, but considering the fact that he's an heavy duty pop, he stands up really well. Again, going to the back here, and we have Felicity Smoke. Again, this is one that I just tried to get to complete my Arrow collection. There's nothing much to this one. Very simple, very basic. Could be pretty much any cat. It could be Bernadette from Big Bang Theory. You know, could be any blonde with a pair of glasses. To be honest, not one that has much detail to it. Very simple, very basic. Felicity Smoke from Arrow. And moving just a tad bit forward, we have the Flash. Not my only Flash I have, but this is another Flash from the TV show, very similar to that of the Reverse Flash with him running. Very much a very good pop. You know, this is one of his best suits as well. I believe this is the season 4 suit. That was a bit more leather, a bit more heavy duty on the fact, like, you know, a bit heavier. It's not the more recent suit that they've had. It's not like the season 6 or 7 suit, but with the neck strap, because there's just certain details. I remember getting this a lot earlier than that storyline, so I believe this is season 4, Barry Allen / The Flash. But yeah, one of my favourite pops, as I love the TV show. One that unfortunately, and it's not the only one, where the stand has broke, but this is Henry Cavill, Superman. We have this Batman. This was in the 2-pack. Again, another early Funko Pop set that I brought in a 2-pack. I like these figures. I like these figures a lot. It's just unfortunate we haven't got much storyline with this version of Superman, because I do think he's a great Superman. His Man of Steel film, I enjoy very much. Ben Affleck's Batman shocked me, but we haven't got a lot of him as well. We got a bit more of Batman than we have of Superman, and we are going to get some more Batman. But anyway, these two pops are decent. Again, you can tell with the muck on Batman just how old and just how long I've had it out of box, unfortunately. But yeah, 2-pack right from the back. And next up we have the Clark Kent from Smallville. This is the final Clark Kent from Smallville, the one where he's bursting his suit out of chest. Of course, we all know he never wore the suit. I'm one of the few fans that don't mind that he didn't, because the storyline is about Clark Kent, not about Superman. This one, very basic, very simple, but again, it's one of my favoured pops. I'm so glad I got this. So, moving on here, and going forward again, we are on the Green Arrow. This is the season 2 Green Arrow where he had the mask. In fact, no, I think it's season 3 Green Arrow. Because Barry gave him the mask. So, was it Barry? Yeah, it was Barry, wasn't it? So it would have to be sometime after season 2. It would be sometime around that, because I know that Barry was in there during the season 2 series. Again, another one that's a little bit scuffed because it's out of box. Unfortunately, it's just not been well looked after. When I initially started collecting, I didn't plan to collect per se. It was just literally I would pick up pops here and there that I enjoyed looking at or wanted in my collection. The Arrowverse ones have become ones that I have absolutely had to try and collect. So yeah, that is Green Arrow. Oliver Queen. This is before he's the Green Arrow. This is just Arrow. But yeah, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow. You know what? We're gonna stick with Green Arrow for the moment, because here is Smallville's Green Arrow. So this is the other one that I got. Again, around about the same time I got the Superman, the Clark Kent with the chest showing off his symbol. This one, I prefer this suit to this Green Arrow suit, simply down to the fact that I think it's just got a lot more detail in the Funko Pop. Looks a lot more like him as well. But yeah, really enjoy this Funko Pop. They got the arrows there, which is a nice little detail. But yeah, I really enjoy this pop. We have Vibe. This one was got recently. That's why he's out of box. Thankfully, they looked after it a lot better than I look after mine. But yeah, Vibe is one of the key characters in the Flash series, because he's not in there anymore. Spoilers. Don't worry, I'll put some spoiler warning at the start of the video. But yeah, Vibe from the Flash. Like I say, this is one that I got later on in the collection. Found it online, on Facebook. Had to buy it. I didn't mind so much that it was out of box. It was just so that I could get it. And then the last one of the DC ones out of box is the Flash himself. This is season 1 Flash. This is before he gets the white emblem. Season 1 Flash. Again, this is one of the earlier pops that I brought. Had to be done. Got this one before the one where he's running. Nothing much to it, because it is literally just him standing there. You know, like I could imagine, I don't know if I ever saw one, but I could imagine a Green Arrow one where he's like, you know, in a stance. Would be so much better than what we end up getting. But yeah, the Flash, really good pop, but very standard. Very much there's nothing to him. But these are the last ones on the lower level, and this is Janet Van Dyne. I hope I got that right. It's Janet, I hope. And this is from Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know why she's out of box, because this one is one that I brought quite recent. And when I say quite recently, I mean within the last year. There are pops here that I've brought within the last year. I will point out if it was any longer or if it was at a specific event. But yeah, Janet Van Dyne, nothing much to it. Some decent detail here and there. You know, it's just one of those pops. It was sort of one of those ones I needed to get just to have all of the Ant-Man set. But it is one of my favourite. In fact, this one is probably one of absolute favourites, and it is of course Iron Man snapping his fingers to save the universe. This is one of the best pops I have. The only issue I have with these pops is their bobbleheads. Why are they bobbleheads? But yeah, Tony Stark snapping his fingers, saving the universe, sacrificing himself to save everybody else. I love this pop. The detail on this is just phenomenal. I really do need to clean my pops. These are really dusty. Does that look better now on camera? A little bit. But anyway, yeah, this is one of my absolute favourites. Again, here is Castiel. Now, Castiel was brought with Charlie. Again, unboxed. was also brought with Crowley, actually. But yeah, unboxed simply down to the fact that I brought these off Facebook. Again, these two are my prized pops because I absolutely love Supernatural. Supernatural is one of my favourite TV shows. Now moving on to two of my oldest pops. In fact, these are, I think, and I've said this multiple times, this may be the first of the Marvel ones. The issue with these ones is they are meant to be bobbleheads. However, nothing. And it is simply down to the fact that my son decided to try and yank the heads off. I had a few more pops than what I've got on show. I had a Hulk. I had a different Spider-Man. I had another version of Iron Man, which I'm sure is worth a lot of money now. I had a Deadpool. I no longer have those particular pops because the heads were pulled off. The heads were kept and put away in boxes. But yeah, these two very early pops, out of box, very old, in condition of what my collection is very old. Here we have a original Michael Myers. This is one of the older ones. This is back when when I started collecting fully. I was like, right, I've got to get all the all the horror collection of my favourite horror films, i.e. Michael Myers. We'll get to some of the rest later on. This one was an absolute must pick up, and I've actually picked up a recent Michael Myers one very much recently that we'll get to later. But over here, while we're on the horror train, we have a Chucky and a Bride of Chucky. Now, of course, these two are not in conjunction with one another, simply because, of course, this is a Chucky from, like, say, I want to say Child's Play 3. Or is it one of the more recent ones where he's got the scars? But anyway, this is one of the very early ones from the original trilogy, I believe. Whereas, of course, the Bride of Chucky is from Bride of Chucky, Tiffany. So, you know, these two are some great pops, and I absolutely love them. And, okay, so now we are going on to my actual last unboxed pop, and then we're moving on to the boxed ones. And here we have Spider-Man with Gauntlet. And this is, of course, the Iron Spider suit in kill mode, might I add, with the red eyes. Very dusty, I apologise for that. But yeah, another prize pop. However, unfortunately, the reason why he is indeed sitting on one of my newer pops is because the stand broke. Another pop I had where the stand broke and it actually broke the pop was a Vulture pop. It was comic, but Vulture not Homecoming Vulture. But this, again, is one of my ones that I absolutely love. And one of the few pops I've actually got from Infinity War and Endgame. In fact, all of them are from Endgame. The ones that I'm thinking of in particular. But these are one of my few. Along with that version of Tony, which is the only version I got of him. But I got a lot of Spider-Man, which we'll get to now. Now we are going to move on to the boxed pops. And these are the prize possessions. So we're going to start off with some of the bigger ones. We're going to go from top to bottom, and then we'll go to the black layer, the back layer. So here we have Batman with the Hall of Justice. This is an interesting pop. This one is very much a common supersized one. Very much enjoyable. In some cases it does look better out of box, but this is just one of the ones that I felt the need to keep in box. Like I say, obviously the only issue here is that you will get to see a little bit more of me in the sunlight. But yeah, Batman with the Hall of Justice, a great pop. Moving on here to one of the other Avengers End Game pops that I said about earlier, and it is Hulk. Now this is not a Hulk snapping, is it? I don't know, because it looks like he's snapping here, but when you look on, it looks like he's got his fist closed. So I'm unsure about that, because there's that Hulk as well, which I think is a 6-inch, but I believe this is like one of the bigger ones. But anyway, this is a great pop. Brought this one from Comic Con. There was a lot of options on that day for what pops I could get. And just below that is the Flash Gorilla Grodd. Now this, of course, as you can see here, is a Summer Convention 2016 Summer Convention exclusive. This is a great pop. Unfortunately, I mean, luckily it is in a box protector. Unfortunately, there is this in the top corner, which allowed me to buy it at £40. It's got it on the other side as well a little bit. Not too worried about that, as it is one that I'm keeping in the box. But the pop itself is fine, and it's a great pop. Really do love this one, and it goes great with my Arrowverse collection. And then another one over here, and this is the Deathstroke. This is the Red Hood versus Deathstroke, and this is the Deathstroke that I mentioned earlier. Comic accurate. This is the Comic Moments. This is one that was brought for me for a birthday a couple of years ago by some friends of mine. It's a special edition pop as well. But I do really like this pop. It looks awesome. And like I say, it's definitely not one that I'm going to end up ever taking out of box. So, here we go with a lot of my box ones, and I'll tell you now, a lot of these I really do love. Here we have Thanos from Avengers Endgame. This is the Thanos that ends up showing up at the end of the film to take out the Avengers. This is a great pop in the line with the Hulk and a few other pops that I have. I haven't got the rest of the Endgame selection simply because they are a little bit questionable, especially with the costumes on. Didn't really like that, but this one was definitely a must-have. And next to that one we have Age of Ultron. Again, not much to this one. The detail in there is really decent, but this is a very much holder pop from the Age of Ultron line. I believe that I had that Hulk. It was that Hulk and that Captain America that I had, where the head was pulled off. But I've never had any of the others. Would love to get the whole Age of Ultron collection that's on the back of that there. Got here Doctor Strange from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is a lot more recent of a pop. This is a great pop. You know, it's very simplistic. It's Doctor Strange. You've got a little bit of magic going on in there. Nothing special to him. This is just one of the commons. I mean, a lot of my pops are very much common pops. Here we have Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I made the mistake of buying this one online on Amazon for £20. And then the next day found it at the Entertainer for £11. So I lost £9 there, simply because I didn't have the patience, although it seemed to be one that was showing up and I'd simply missed every now and then. So that was unfortunate that I did pay a little bit more than what the pop itself is actually worth. Over here as well, this was one of the ones that I was unsure about getting, as it's one of those characters. I do enjoy Wong in Doctor Strange and Wong in general. However, it's not one that I ever plan to get a pop of. However, here he is, Wong from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or in the Multiverse of Madness even. And over here next to him we do have, and we are getting into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness spoilers here, so if you haven't watched it yet, go check it out. It's on Disney+. Here we have 3 Doctor Stranges that are all not our Strange. Technically speaking, that one here is Dead Strange, but because the actual Strange that's over here possessed Dead Strange. But this is the Strange from the start of the movie, which is actually Defender Strange as well. That's one of the ones that I didn't get, I believe was in this wave as well. But I'm glad, because there's so many. I went from having no Doctor Stranges to so many Doctor Stranges within the space of like 6 months. It's unbelievable. Over here we have Sinister Doctor Strange. So this is just Strange that Doctor Strange fights with the musical notes. A little bit kooky, and he usually has the one eye. I'm surprised they didn't do a chase of him with the eye. Maybe that'll come out during San Diego Comic Con or one of these ones. that are coming in the next few weeks. And then over here we do have the Supreme Strange, and this is the Strange without any kind of goatee or any kind of facial hair. This is the Strange that went up against Thanos and won, and was also killed by the Illuminati for working too much close with the Darkhold, basically. So yeah, they're my Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness set. Oh, now moving down now, and I have, as you can see, I've clearly moved things, so you'll start to see some of the other pops I've got. Over here we have Avengers End Game, the Year of the Shield, Amazon exclusive, Old Man Steve. I love this pop. This was pop that I absolutely had to get. There was no doubt as soon as this one was released that I would be getting it, and it's one of my favourites. It's one of my absolute favourites. There's not much to say. It's from the obvious. It's from the scene where towards the end of the film, and it's basically just before the last scene. And Old Man Steve gives the shield to the character that's on his right to become Captain America. And here we have, of course, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Captain America Special Edition pop. This is his suit from the series. I absolutely love this pop. The series itself was one that, you know, it took a while for me to get into, but they absolutely delivered on that last episode, I believe. And it's another great pop. I apologise for you not being able to see it brilliantly due to the lighting, but that is, Captain America from Falcon and Winter Soldier. And next up we have White Vision, or as he's known colloquially as just Vision, but everyone's calling him White Vision. And I love this pop. You know, I said to myself I wouldn't get too many of the WandaVision pops or too many of the pops from the TV shows, simply because I haven't loved them all. I've liked them personally, but I have not loved them. They're not the heights of the MCU, like the films are. But this is a great pop, and I had to choose just one WandaVision, and it had to be the Halloween Wanda in her classic costume. And I love the fact that the details in this costume, when you look at this one and you put them side to side, and you can just see where the comic accurate suit comes into play with what is the modern suit. Like, you have certain details, like just above the testicles, and that's what I'm going to go with. You can see that detail on this pop as well. You can't see very well in the pictures, but yeah, the details are there, and I absolutely love that. And yeah, so if I had to pick one WandaVision pop of Wanda, it had to be the classic Halloween pop. Moving on, we're sticking with the Marvel train at the moment, and that is, of course, the Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, if I'm right in thinking that this one and Janet Van Dyne was in my Pop in a Box subscription that I had just before Christmas, I got rid of it, simply because I couldn't afford to keep going with it, even though I probably could if I didn't carry on buying pops as I went along. So yeah, that was one of the Pop in a Box subscriptions that I got, the 3 pops for £30, something like that. Not a bad pop, definitely staying in the box, as I am now an in-box collector more than an out-of-box collector. It's just the originals. This pop I got for on the cheap, about £6, and it's just the Venom Let There Be Carnage Venom. And as you can see here, there is a bit of damage on the box. It's a lot worse than you think, because on the back, on the back is completely messed up. I don't have the carnage from this film. It's simply that every time I've seen it, I've just been like, I always forget which one I've got. I almost actually broke this pop the other day, thinking I didn't have the Venom, and I have the carnage, and it's actually the other way around. So yeah, really messed up, but Venom, it's a decent pop. Shame about the films. Okay, so I have brought these forward just so that it's easier to show you. These are the last 2 rows of the front, and then we're getting into the back. which, it was really hard to put certain pops in front and certain pops in back. But the ones at the front are personally more my favourite pops and more recent pops, so that's why they're all at the front. There was one I actually forgot that's to the side here, and it's done to shape. And that is my Grogu with cookies, by the way. I had to choose, I had to make a choice. It was a very difficult choice, but the Grogu with cookies is the one I went with. And, will I ever collect the rest? I am after the Mando with Grogu, which you can see there. I also wouldn't mind the Luke with Grogu, but that is usually a little bit more expensive. Decent pop, but it does have a little problem with the shape because they don't go like that, like the rest of the props do. It's like that. It has to go to the side on its own little section. And it's the only Star Wars pop I actually own. So yeah, and poor Spider-Man fell, did not land on his feet, and did not use webbing to save himself. So there we go. Anyway, so yeah, last two of the front row, and then we're on the back row, and we'll be going back to the top to bottom. But here we have Beetlejuice, and this one was one that I had to pick up. It's just, I love the film Beetlejuice, and I love this pop. I think personally, this is one of my favourites as well. I have a lot of favourites, to be fair. It's very hard to pick just one favourite. Maybe that could be another video, my top 10 favourite pops. And this front row has a lot of them, so this could be difficult. I mean, there's one on this row alone that would definitely be in my top 10. And I'll tell you which one it is when we get to it. But yeah, Beetlejuice had to be this costume as well. He's not in that stripy one all that much. So this is the only one I've got from Beetlejuice, and I love it. So Alvary is probably one I'm not going to talk too much about, for obvious reasons. But the Creeper, from Jeepers Creepers, I would also like the other chase version, where the mask, not the mask, but his face is open. That's definitely one to get eventually. But that's the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Nice pop. Shame about what's going on behind the scenes. Over here is another Chucky. This is another favourite. Not in my top 10. This is not my top 10. The next one is one that's in my top 10. But this is Chucky from Child's Play 2 poster. Where he's chopping off the Jack in a box. This is a special edition. I absolutely love this pop. Again, I plan to get a few more Chuckies. There is a new set coming out very soon, and I plan to get majority of those ones in that new set. So yeah, I really love this pop. And next up, this is one that will definitely be in my top 10 favourite pops, and that is Ash from Army of Darkness. This is one of my absolute favourites, and getting this out for a moment, there's this pop and there is another pop that we'll get to on this front line, down the line, where I actually believe this could be a fake. Basically down to the way it looks at the bottom. Is it possible that this is one of the early ones? But it says made in China, which really does bug me. This is the most expensive pop that I brought as well while at Comic Con. I actually can't remember how much it was. It's got all these stickers on it. B1860. I think that was just to keep an eye. And those stickers might be something else as well. But just for me, I don't know why, it just feels like it could be a fake, unfortunately. But I could be very wrong, and like I said, this one cost me £60. Which, it's not worth that much, but it was one that I had to get, and it was the cheapest of the Army of Darkness, well, the Evil Dead pops. It's the only Evil Dead pop I've got. I plan to get as many of the others as I can, but hopefully not as pricey as this one. It's just that the 14 plus thing as well. Why are there so many stickers on it? But anyway, that's that one. Yeah, absolutely love that one. And next up we have Regan from The Exorcist. As you might tell, this section is sort of a horror theme one. You could argue Beetlejuice is not in that, but this is very much my horror collection right here. There may be one or two as well that we'll get to later on. But this is my main ones. And yeah, The Exorcist, Regan, absolutely love this pop. And this is one that I got quite recently. And I love the fact that you've got this sort of green pea soup looking sick all around it. It's a great pop. One of my favourites. Again. Over we have another one. This is the Hot Topic exclusive, which you might guess was from Comic Con, and yes, it was that price of £20. I may take that £20 sticker off, as that is not part of it. Like the Hot Topic sticker can't come off. This is actually in a box protector as well, so which makes me think that this might actually be worth a little bit more than what is initially thought. But anyway, again, very decent pop. Not necessarily the best of the Annabelles, but nonetheless, the Hot Topic exclusive sticker might give it a little bit more value down the line. Now, these two, I'm going to show you these two at the same time because I actually have another pop in this line of films. So we have over here the Xenomorph, the 40th anniversary Xenomorph sticker on there. Great pop. It's the non-blue one, so this is the original. This is obviously the blue one, which is worth a lot more money. Hell of a lot more money. Great pop. Although I don't know about the eyes. I don't know if you actually see that in the films. I've never noticed it in the films. Every time I've watched it, I've looked for it. Maybe you can just about see it. I don't know. And then over here we've got Ripley holding Jonesy. Now, I believe this is the original Alien film. So these two are from the original first Alien film. Let's get this out and see what's at the back. Because this alien, this Xenomorph, is actually in a protector. But here we have Ripley in space suit. Now, is that not aliens and not alien? That's what's always confused me. And Jonesy, I always thought the cat was from the sequel. But again, it shows the two at the back of that one and the one that I've already got. The one I haven't got as well. So there is a little bit of confusion there, but I do believe this is from the first film, which means that one is also. And the sleep, it's like the sleep suit, I think, more than anything else. But anyway, like I said, I did have another pop, and where have I put it? There it is. This one is the most recent pop I've got, and that is the Alien Queen from Aliens Special Edition. Got this from HMV. This is a great pop, and of course, as you can see, that's Ellen Ripley from Aliens, which I hope to get, because I would love to have that along with the Alien Queen. Get away from her, you bitch. That is also another pop I would really love, which I have seen circulating, but I've never seen in person, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this is a great pop. One that I got recently. Worth about 30 odd quid, but I paid 20 for it, so it's a steal in my opinion. So that's that one. And that's those for the Alien ones anyway. Next up we got, I might as well stick with the two train, because these two are very much the same with a little difference. So over here we've got the Tim Curry Pennywise from the It TV movie. And, you know, I love Tim Curry's Pennywise. Don't get me wrong, against Bill something or other's Pennywise, I think it's Bill anyway. But Tim Curry beats it for me. It's certainly not a better film. In fact, like, there's a lot of stigma behind the TV movie being not all that great. And to be honest with you, on my first watch, I loved it. And, you know, I think in recent years, trying to rewatch it again, that, yeah, it is actually not the best ever in terms of what we got in the end with the end result. This one, on the other hand, of course, while that I prefer that Pennywise in terms of movies, pop-wise, I prefer this one. Just simply because, like, that one's got a lot of detail in it, don't get me wrong, but this one's fucking scary. This is the version with the belt, so this is the more common. They brought out so many of these Pennywises. And there were a few that I really wanted. Don't get me wrong, but I would never buy every single one. You see all these people with the collections, and they've got every Pennywise. Where's the excitement in that? I like to have a little bit of a collection that's sort of a bit array, except for when it comes to the actual ones that I need to get for certain sets. There's a similar thing with the next pop I'm going to go to, and that is, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. This is one of contention because he's got the chainsaw. And the main one that I've seen everybody have, they don't have the chainsaw. Like I came to buy this one, and there was a chainsaw one and the mallet one. And everyone that I came across was buying the mallet one. I don't get that. Because for me, if you're going to get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, and you're going to get Leatherface, get one where he's got the chainsaw. It's what makes the most sense. But yeah, I like this one. You know, I'm not going to be angry at people that buy the mallet version instead of the chainsaw version. I can't be mad at you. You know, you're a collector like me. I'm not mad at anybody else's collections. But for me personally, that's the one I like the most. So, moving on, and I believe this is the last of my horrors. We'll get down to it in a moment and figure out as we go along. But I believe this is the last of my horrors. Like I say, there's Carrie, there's Ghostface. There's a fake Ghostface going around for £15 on Amazon. My sister keeps nudging me to get it. I keep telling her it's a fake. I'm not going to buy a fake on purpose. That is not happening. But this is, of course, Pinhead from Hellraiser. This is, in particular, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which is not one of my favourites of the film. I still think the original is the best film in the whole series. But, nonetheless, Pinhead is a horror icon, along with the rest of these. So, yeah, that is it for the front layer. We now go to the back layer, and we're also very much to the end, but we are sticking with horror. So, let's get right to the next section. Here we go. The next one we've got here is the Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees 2-pack. And I keep saying 2-pack, and is it actually like box set or what? But it's the bloody version. I may have to configure my collection on the Pop Directory site. But this is the 2 set, the box lunch exclusive again, another one that I believe I picked up from Comic Con. In fact, tell a lie, this was on eBay. Again, it was a little bit of a worry because I don't like buying from eBay, especially when it comes to things like pops. But these are brilliant. I love this pop. I love this 2-pack. Again, sticking with horror. And sticking with the horror movies, this is the one that I brought most recently. As you can see, £11, that's very common. But this is the most recent Halloween Michael Moyers that I believe they brought out. And this is one of those instances with these pops where the back of it is just literally, it's not a wave of pops, it is literally just him on his own in his little set. I am still trying to get Michael Myers with House and Alfred with the Wayne House as well. Those are 2 that I would really love, and poor Charlie here isn't standing up for me. So yeah, we have obviously mentioned the Crowley that I've got, which came with Charlie and Castiel, but here we have Sam Winchester and Dean Winchester. I love these pops. I love this TV show. May this TV show be forever in my life. This Mark Kane, Dean as well, special edition from Pop in a Box. I love this pop. This one was the best pop that I have ever received in Pop in a Box. It was one that I was after for so long, and you know, I came so close towards the end of buying it. I'm so glad I didn't, because I may have ended up with 2 of them. In fact, I would have ended up with 2 of them. But yeah, I absolutely love Supernatural. I just wish there was a little bit more detail in these. Like, the Mark Kane one, brilliant. But when it comes to the normal Sam and the normal Dean, the bodies are pretty much the same, with different heads. Also, Sam doesn't wear the button shirt around the t-shirt. He wears the shirts. Where's that detail? But anyway, can't complain too much. I'm happy to have these. I hope to get some more Castiels. There's so many Castiels. There's Steve Castiel. Castiel with wings. There is the... oh my god, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Leviathan. There's the Leviathan cast. Those are definitely ones I want to get. I also wouldn't mind the FBI versions of Sam Dean and the regular Dean. And also Bobby Singer is the big one that's the most expensive out of the whole set. But anyway, so here's another Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. I actually forgot that this one was here. Simply because there wasn't room for all of them on one line. That is the Master Mordo. I do not have an American Child as yet. I also do not have, I believe it's Baton or Raton, the beastie looking Minotaur thing. I apologise. I know don't mean no disrespect to that character. There's also Christine Palmer out there that I ain't that fussed about. There's also a Sarah as well, which is sort of Wong's missus sort of thing. Oh, that's the feeling I got from here. But yeah, Master Mordo from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So here we have the 4 No Way Home pops that I actually own. There are 2 that I do not have, and that is Ned and MJ. 2 pops I would love to have down the line. The MJ has become really rare to get. The Ned, I see every now and then, but I never pick it up. Here we have Doctor Strange from No Way Home, and this Doctor Strange is very weird, very out there, and it's him in his t-shirt. He's got the shovel, and he's doing a little bit of magic. Not really one that I'd say is a superb pop, but it was just that this was the first Doctor Strange I wanted to get, simply because the Doctor Strange movie hadn't come out yet. So this was the easiest one, and I've now seen that the original Doctor Strange movie version is popping up again, back on Pop in a Box. So maybe down the line I will get that one. But yeah, Doctor Strange. Here we have the black and gold suit Spider-Man. Now there is another one coming out that's going to be San Diego, I believe. AAA. No, it's AAA, isn't it? The AAA anime exclusive black and gold suit Spider-Man is of course coming out soon without the mask. I have to get that one. There's no doubt I will be getting that one at some point, somehow, some way. But this is just the standard common version. Not connected to that one because it is a different pose that the new one's coming out. But I really like this suit. I really like the explanation for why it was black and gold and not a typical, oh, it's a new suit type of thing. It was just that suit inside out. And talking about that suit, this is the upgraded suit that we had at the end of Far From Home. It's the one that he primarily wears in No Way Home until he gets the suit that I'm going to show you next. But we don't get a very good look at that suit in this version of the pop. But anyway, the upgraded suit, that's the one with the black tones to it, with the white emblem on the back. I love that suit, and it's one of my favourites in the MCU for a superhero suit. And over here, the integrated suit. Now this is the suit that he wears at the end of the film, but it has the Doctor Strange magic on it, so you don't really get to see the full extent. Now I feel with these 4 pops that they didn't have the full story of the movies, so therefore the black and gold doesn't have the detail of the wiring on its face or on the chest areas. That suit is pretty much standard. Feels like an older pop that maybe is just in a new pose. This suit, again, it's covered up with Doctor Strange magic, but when he's wearing that suit, he doesn't actually use the Doctor Strange magic anymore. At that point, they've sort of gone past that part. Also, this Doctor Strange feels very shoddy. We are getting a new one from the film, but I would believe it's just going to be a lot more of the same that we've had from Multiverse of Madness. So that's the only issue I have with these No Way Home pops. There is a lot more on the way, I believe, that I will be getting. My collection is going to be getting a lot bigger soon. Over here we have Thor Love and Thunder Gore. So this one was one I picked up simply because I got this one before the film even released. It was in one of my local entertainers. And this one, it was just one that I wanted to pick up. Like I say, it wasn't meant to be out yet, as the film itself wasn't out yet. And it's the only one I've seen in physical form from Thor Love and Thunder. There is not a single other pop in Wolverhampton from Thor Love and Thunder. Where the hell are you guys? So yeah, go from Thor Love and Thunder. I've got some thoughts on that film. You might have noticed I haven't actually put out a video for that yet. Not really planning to. It was an okay film. Disappointing at parts, but I still enjoyed it. Over here, we have the 1989 Batman. This is another one I got from Comic Con. I think I paid $25 for this one. This one was an absolute must get. These Batmans that I'll show you now in this line. You won't see a Batman for the next 3 pops, but the last 2 pops on this row were ones that I have got very recently. But this pop I absolutely love. It's from the original film and goes well next to the Joker that we got from the very same film. This is the Joker from Batman 1999. This is the standard edition. This is not a special edition. It's not the one where his makeup is coming slightly off in the chase version. There's also another version where he's wearing a different outfit and he's got a little bit different makeup on, which again is one I want. That was in a 2-pack with the Batman. So not the Batman, not that Batman, but with this Batman. I believe it was the same Batman pop. Maybe he had a little difference of a stance, because I believe what you can't see in this pop, and what I'm struggling to see, is he's got his grapple batarang in his hand in this 89 Batman pop. But again, I love these Batman pops. Next up, we've got Batman Returns, and here we are with Catwoman and the Penguin. These are from Batman Returns. Like I said, these 2 are very, very good pops. The detail on Catwoman is unbelievable. So good. It's probably one of the best pops I own in terms of detail, just because of the way they got the suit to look quite as well as it is in the film. Penguin, standard pop, not much to say about it. It's decent, and I like the fact that I have got majority of these pops. Next up again, these ones I got recently. This Batman, Riddler, was the most recent of the Batmans I got, with the Riddler card, envelope, sort of thing. So, of course, you got Michael Keaton over here, Val Kilmer, and then the next one we got is George Clooney. Yeah, I enjoy these Batman pops. They're from the original films. Not all the films are great, I'll admit. But for nostalgic reasons, I have to have every one of these Batman pops. And I'm so glad I got this one with the Riddler card. Just because of it, pure importance of it being a set collection together. So moving on now, we have Poison Ivy, the last of the Batman pops. Again, very basic. Like I say, I know I said it's better, but it's also the specialty series. But it's Batman and Robin, Poison Ivy. I wish they would bring out a Bane. And I'm also waiting for a Chris O'Donnell Batman Robin. From Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. To get one of the Robins would be nice as well. I don't think they've ever done one of those though. Over here we've got Captain Cold Unmasked. This was one that I got from Comic Con, and that is a Underground Toys exclusive sticker on there. This is in a pop protector. Like I say, this one was definitely one that I actually screamed out loud when I saw this one at Comic Con, because it was one.
I don't know that.
She needs to shut up. This is definitely one that I had to get. Like I said, I screamed like a little girl when I saw it, and I felt sorry for my dad because I smacked him like a nutter, because I was like, oh my god, look what I've just seen. So yeah, Captain Cold, great pop. Absolutely love the fact I got it, and I definitely want to get the other version of him with the hood up and the glasses. over here now, and we are, I know that this is a very long video. I mean, this pure section alone is 40 minutes. Once edited, we'll get it down to about that. But anyway, we've got here the Flash TV series Jay Garrick. There is another version. This is the actual Garrick. So this is the actual Jay Garrick even. This is the version of him that's the older version. It's not the Jay Garrick that's Hunter Solomon. That's another one that's sought after, and that is definitely one that I want to get down the line. But I love this pop. Again, these ones are very much in terms of, like, this is part of my collection, and these were pops I had to get. As you'll see here as well, there is a little difference with this pop and the next pop. And the more recent ones have the fastest man alive underneath it. Whereas, like, you got Captain Cold here that's just got the Flash. And the next one, which is just got the Flash above it as well. And that is Zoom. And this, again, is a one that I was surprised to get. I believe this was one that I got from Facebook again. From the marketplace. This was one I had to get. And there was no doubt about it that I was going to get it. It was just a matter of time of when. And going back, and as I say here, fastest man alive on top. These are the more recent pops. That's what I think the explanation is there. And it's Godspeed. And this Godspeed pop, again, it's an enjoyable pop. But, these are the ones where, because of how many I've got, start to sort of disappear from the collection. Because they're hidden away behind. Because these ones are ones that I prize the most in terms of what ones I want to show off. Unfortunately, the Batman ones, I believe, are also cut off. But anyway, Godspeed, decent pop, nothing special. Bloodwork is a one that I got for £6 again, very cheap. It was a standard pop. It's not the best pop. Definitely looks better in box than out of box. There are a couple of these Flash ones that I've still got the boxes for, like Killer Ice. I've got Killer Frost pop. I've still got the box for that. I've also still got the Kid Flash box, and there's one or two others that I've got, but I just wanted to keep them all sort of together, in a sense. So yeah, that's the reason why those ones, while I have got the boxes, are not in the box. So yeah, here we go. We are on the last few now. As I say, these ones are ones that just sort of get buried in the collection. But we'll get through these ones quite quick. Here is the DC Legends of Tomorrow Hawkman. He's the only DC Legends of Tomorrow pop I have. And yeah, this is a decent pop. Want to try and get the rest of the DC Legends pops. Glad I got two of them. But that's a Flash pop, not necessarily a Legends pop. But he is a legend, however. Anyway, yeah, so that is one that I got that I picked up again from Comic Con. That wasn't too expensive. That was like 15, I believe. So yeah, quite a decent pop to get from Bob and the Bob's, from Comic Con even. These ones are the Shazam series. So I've got everyone except for Shazam. I've got Darla, I've got Freddy, I've got Pedro, I've got Eugene, and I've got Mary. At one point, I had two Eugenes or Freddys. I think it was Eugene. I had two Eugenes. That was problematic, and I had to get rid of that. That was with a bunch of pops I had. That I had about 15 pops. Got rid of them all for £40. There were a bunch of random ones that just simply didn't really fit into my collection. One or two of them I really do regret getting rid of, like TDK from the newer Justice League movie, and a few other choice ones. I had a second Jay Garrick as well, thinking that it was the other version, but it's not. It was the exact same. So, it was very unfortunate. These pops, yeah, like I say, it was just completing the collection, and like I said, I have not got the Shazam pop yet, but it's going to happen. One day I will find it, hopefully for a tenner, but it's wishful thinking. Here down the penultimate row, and we have the Lois Lane from Smallville. Again, For some reason, the Smallville aren't together. I thought I'd put them together, but they are not. But Lois Lane from Smallville, not a lot of detail in there, but a decent pop anyway. Here we have the Clark Kent from Smallville. This is from the very first episode. So the other pop that we showed earlier that is out of box is from the very last episode. This is the very first episode, Clark Kent, and it's quite a nice pop. A lot of detail there to it. He's also got the necklace on, something you can't see from this angle. Let's make this a little bit better for you guys. I did a little window for you so you can see these last few rows of pops. And yeah, he has got the necklace on, which you can just about see there. But yeah, great pop. Nice little bit of detail. And I couldn't pinch my screen so I could zoom back out. And over here we got Teen Wolf, the only pop from Teen Wolf that I've got. And this one is the Scott Howard one, where he's playing basketball. I absolutely love the Teen Wolf movie. And I love the Teen Wolf series. They did so much difference with from the way the Teen Wolf series and the way the Teen Wolf movies come across are completely different. And that's something I absolutely like about the way they do the shows. I like this pop very much, and so glad to see it in my collection. And this was one of the ones that were random. Like I said, there was a few random ones. This is very much where the random ones come in, and they're not the only ones. Over here is the actual last horror film one that I've got. Again, it sort of ended up in the back because it's one that I got recently, but it was also one that just couldn't fit. That, you know, if I had to pick and choose between the horror ones, it was this one that was going to end up in the back. But this is Gage and Church. This is the Glow in the Dark Special Edition. I got this one for £7 from Forbidden Planet. This was a deal and a half. And yeah, it's a brilliant pop. Love to see it. So over here, another random one. This is the Gamerverse MJ, Mary Jane Watson with the Spider-Man Teddy. This is from the Marvel PS5 Spider-Man game. You know, this was just one of the pops that was in my list that I wanted on Pop in a Box. And that's the reason why I've got it. It's a very random pop, but it's one. It's decent, and nothing else really to say about it. Over here we've got the Lex Luthor from Smallville. This is the only Lex Luthor they brought out. And it's from one episode. They seem to have chosen pops, except for the Lois Lane, where the pops and the Green Arrow, where the pops actually sort of just stand out as being like from a particular episode. Lex Luthor, the Clark Kent, and the two Clark Kents, they're all from particular episodes, you know? And I don't like that too much, but, you know, it's a decent pop. It's just a shame it's from a very particular moment, from the series. I think it's from 2 episodes in the series. So over here, we are going to do our headshot, because there's not a lot of detail in these particular pops. But over here, we have 2 Jingle All the Way ones. This is Howard as Turbo Man and Myron as the Dementor. And, you know, these pops are okay. They're decent. These ones I picked up basically down to nostalgia. They weren't very expensive. I think they were 2 for £15. So they were a decent offer. That is the reason why these 2 are lonely in this corner, right at the back. Nothing too special. Over here is the Christmas set. Superman in holiday sweater. You have Batman as Ebenezer Scrooge. That definitely makes sense. You've got the Joker as Santa, which I think is just so funny. And Harley Quinn with her little helper. So these are all separate sets that came on their own, like originally in the common sort of space, and then they decided to put these as a 4-pack. It's a nice little 4-pack, and it's a special edition. It was brought for me. I enjoy this pop so much. It's not one where I take them out of the box and put them out, per se. These are here for the purpose of the fact that these make sense down here for the structure thing. But yeah, it's a decent set and definitely enjoyable to look at. So here we are at the last pop in this video. It took a hell of a lot longer video than I was expecting it to. And that is Black Lightning. This one I got from the Black Lightning show. And it's simply, I got this one because it fits in with the rest of my DC pops. I do plan to get the Batwoman, who is the second Batwoman, who plays the character of Ryan something or other. The second Batwoman. I do plan to get that one. I hope that they do eventually bring out a Supergirl, just so I've got one of each. Or maybe even a Superman from Superman and Lois, you know? Just so I've got one from each series that's key to the DC universe. But anyway, yeah, that's all my pops in their glory. I have got a hell of a job now to put these back in the way that I found them. So yeah, that is it for today's video. A big old video, of course. That is the collection, all 105 pops, I believe. Roughly worth the 1,500 mark. That's something that I've kept out of the video. I haven't kind of done that sort of thing. I've just sort of told you how much they're worth. I have got a very big job on my hands now of tidying this up. I thank you so much for watching. This has been Ryan. I have been Scrivo. This has been Scrivo Sphere. And please, I'll see you next time, folks. Which will be very soon for the last part of The Last of Us. Thanks for watching, guys. And goodbye.